Looking to tune in to the Breakout Racing League? Here are all of the BRL tiers so you can never miss a stream. Want to drive instead? The assist and livery specifications are also listed so you're up to speed and can compete in the most competitive league in North America. Want to see more of the Breakout Racing League? Check out our social media platforms so you can see race results, championship standings, hot laps, and more. Consider also joining our Discord. If you are interested, one of our chat mods will share the link so you can come and hang out in the Breakout Racing League. Looking for the latest Breakout Racing League merchandise? Head on over to the Breakout Racing League store to see our latest options. We have 2021 collection items such as hoodies, mugs, t-shirts, and stickers, as well as winter collection items and special items like phone cases, masks, beanies, and more. Check it out for yourself and be sure to use FAN10 for 10% off your purchase. Now, let's head back to the track to see what went down a race ago in the Breakout Racing League. 24 rounds. Over 20 different countries, and over 100 different drivers. And only the select few will see themselves as a champion.
They've gone quick, they're going crazy. We're about to get on the way for Tier 1 here in Bahrain. We're racing.
And it's lights out, and away we go. Tentative start, but
It's on, out, it's lights out, and away we go here.
It's lights out, and away we go. Bit of a slow start for everyone.
And so far, through 23 rounds, we have seen drama.
Look at the move. Oh, big crash. Championship rivals, they've collided into each other.
We've seen carnage.
He still makes the move done. Ardell's fighting with all his might. Oh, he both collided, he both retire.
And we've seen sins aplenty.
Is he going to try and go for a move on the inside of Shredder? He dives it on the inside, Daniel Ricciardo style.
We've seen the greatest of laps.
He was provisional pole. Can he go back to provisional pole? He's second in the championship. He wants a chance to go improve. He does go pole. 36 milliseconds. Triple H is next. He goes pole by about 2/10. It is all crumbling down to the top.
We've seen fire.
And here comes Port again. A lap ago, it was crispy on this fight. Now it's unsighted Port. Oh, contact! The championship rivals both out of the race.
Wow.
And we've seen rain.
So Taylor getting a beautiful start.
No matter the outcome, the drivers only want one thing: their championship bid.
Was beautiful for him, from first to last, to first to 10th, and it's been consistent all season long as he crosses the line, and Bantam wins the Tier 4 championship here in Sao Paulo.
Alfanisa stays on the inside. He wants this win, but Minico wants it too. These two absolutely battling with everything they have. Alfanisas will be with the DRS. It's going to be a drag race out of the line. Who's going to win the chair? Who's going to go to the race? Alfanisa to the line. Minico wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Not only the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Minico is your realistic performance champion of Season 7.
And Unsighted Port has won the Formula 2 championship.
Was consistent throughout every race. That Swellerstein has what it takes to be the champion. Well, this Canadian does have what it takes to be the champion because he is the champion of Season 7 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship. Swellerstein wins. It has been a season that you won't forget in Tier 1. It's been crazy. It's been chaos. There was 9 winners in the first 10 races, and Bailey was the first repeat winner. Well, the first repeat winner will be the first F1 Tier 1 champion from the Philippines. Bailey wins the Tier 1 championship. Chandler wins the Tier 1 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And what a season it's been, Alfa Romeo.
Only one is yet to come.
It's been made from Gary. It will be Ferrari's day. Ron crosses the line to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with Gary P2, and the championship fight lives on to the last race.
But through all of it, it's been a season to remember. So now it's time to race one final time. It's time for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix.
"23 rounds later, one would think that the Constructors' Championship would be sealed by now. Well, no, you would be wrong. 6 drivers, 3 teams, and 32 laps. It's all that's left to determine how the Constructors' Championship will go. Welcome along to Imola for round 24, the final round of the Breakout Racing League Realistic Performance Championship and the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. We are here in Italy again, but this time in the town of Imola, just next to San Marino, which is the oldest standing republic in the world. The circuit itself sits near the Senintero River in Italy. However, it's been named the San Marino Grand Prix 26 times through its history. But today, however, it is the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. But let's talk about the circuit then. The Autodromo Enzo Edina Ferrari has 19 corners, 10 to the left and 9 to the right, which makes up the 4.9 kilometer, 3.1 mile distance. There are only one DRS zone on the circuit, and that's into turn 1, which will undoubtedly be the best overtaking point of the circuit. Well, that's going to have an average lap speed of 209.57 kilometers per hour. It's going to be quick. We'll see how it plays out here tonight. We have one final time around, and this time it's going to be special. The last time in Season 3 of the Realistic Performance Championship, we have one more selection of tires from Pirelli. They brought the C4, C3, and C2 compounds. The tire, the C4 being the Redwood soft compound, the C3 being the yellow compound, and the C2 being the whitewood hard compound. And, well, of course, the intermediates and full wets are obviously available as well. But, well, at the moment, they will not be of use for the drivers. But the right strategy could very well find yourself at a great finish here tonight for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Let's see how that plays out for these drivers. KB21 about to be on a flying lap. But regardless, this is where I would say the championship. Well, unfortunately, they have had a little bit of an issue, so we're not going to be able to get you that. But joining alongside me, once again, I'm Catcher, is one more time for the season end. Like I said, 3 teams, 6 drivers, 32 laps. Well, that's all that's left to decide the Constructors' Championship. What exactly do these drivers need to do to bring this title home here tonight?
They have to nail it perfectly. They have to qualify as high as they can, race as high as they can, not get any penalties, and not make any mistakes, not only from the driver's side, but from the strategy side. So if the championship is tight as it is, it's going to basically come down to that. It all comes down to this.
Yes, it does. And Drix goes top of the timing sheets at 15.4 for the Ferrari. He is now going to be right up behind. Going to be chasing after getting through. That's an Alpine going past him. Boskowski now goes provisional pole position. The Mercedes at 15.0. The Mercedes now goes to the top of the timing sheets. He's now going to be the one they're all chasing after. But going now through into Ravazza is one of the McLarens, the championship leaders so far. They have right now a crucial race for them, because not only is it them, but it's It's Red Bull and Mercedes with Thomas Death, Meanfern in the Red Bull camp. Mercedes being Deer Hunter and Boskowski like it has been for most of the season, as well as Taylor Clanton and Cider Port. Those are your 3 teams, 6 drivers, but now it's all down to this qualifying session and the race not too long after this. But qualifying 1 is still to come. A lot of drivers have so far gone on to the soft compound tire.
Yeah, speaking of the championship, most of the drivers is locked up. P1, P2 is locked up. Well, I mean, Cookie could maybe get Deer Hunter, but, I mean, it's going to be real interesting to see who finishes out in the top 10 in the drivers, with the ones who are here and who are not.
Yeah, that'll be another huge talking point, because we talked about it a couple of times already, that although this Drivers' Championship's already locked up, it's only that first position that is. There very well could be numerous battles up and down the grid for second, for third, for fourth, or even for maybe the latter stages of the top 10 or 10th, 11th, etc. It's still play for. So these guys, they may not have a championship to fight for, but they very well could have a position to gain from this Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. But meanwhile, the championship winner for the drivers, Minico, going through now from Acqua Minerale down into turn 14 and 15, which is Variante Alta. See what the Aston Martin can do, a little bit over the curbs, and now he goes into Ravazza in a few seconds' time.
Taylor's about to start a lap, I think. Nope, he invalidated his out lap. We only have one McLaren in qualifying, with the other side of port unfortunately getting a quality ban from last week.
And he's not the only one. Deer Hunter will also have a qualifying ban. Both the Mercedes-powered cars we have inside of port, and Deer Hunter, the Mercedes, and the McLaren both will start from the back with their qualifying ban. Minico goes up to 4th, and he slots behind Supply Raptor by about a 10th of a second, even less than that. But we have now more drivers on flying laps. One of them being CRT Sanchez, who is invalidated after Acqua Minerale. Phantom, though, he goes to the line, and to start his flying lap in the Haas.
Yep, watching Taylor through Sector 2. He's running at 50.5. Let's see how that shakes up. He did go purple as Boskowski will 14.831. I mean, on one hand, Deer Hunter, yeah, he'll superstar in the back, but I think if you're Mercedes, you don't really want Cookie to pass Deer Hunter in the points, because if he does, it probably doesn't vote well for Mercedes for this Constructors' Championship battle.
No, not at all, because right now what you're going to want to do for these guys, as Taylor fan, by the way, goes up to third, is
Good
right
lap.
now, McLaren and Mercedes are pretty much running one-legged at this championship. I mean, McLaren obviously is in the best position because they could, theoretically, the goal that they have is if they can get 4th and 5th, it's locked. There's nothing that Mercedes can do, even if they were to get 1-2, or even Red Bull for that matter as well. That's the target 2 positions McLaren wants. If they can gain at least 15 and 12 points, so about 27 points respectively, there's nothing that any other team could do. So that's the goal. However, with only one DRS straight on this circuit and the corners themselves not having the most inviting overtaking spots, it's going to be difficult for that to do so. By the way, yellow flag. Minico's retired. That's the exit of, I believe, that is the Tamburello chicane.
Yes, it is.
Straightaway. What's happened there to the Aston? It looks like he's now going to be from that 15th position if he even gets and holds on to that time.
See if I see at the Haas, see if we can still Minico. Yeah, he's off the gravel. Basically pointed straight to the wall. You know, sometimes the car will get light, or if you hit that inside curve, the car just gets out of control and just spins straight around. It's really good to see what happened there, but unfortunate for Minico.
So now, he is now going to have to play a huge role here, because, I mean, obviously, like I was talking about not too long ago, as a lot of drivers have actually set their flying laps, Hoop being one, as Mitchie goes straight on at the Tamburello chicane. But, I mean, Mitchie being one, Ron Swanson also being another in the Alfa Romeo. That's actually another fight going on. We have, obviously, the top 3 for the Constructors' Championship, but we also have the battle between Williams and Alfa Romeo heating up. They're both tied on points with, right now, the tiebreaker going to Alfa Romeo because of this man's finish. And I believe that first half of the season, I think, may have been around, I cannot actually remember. It was a P6, I can tell you that. That nudges out both Supply Raptors whenever he was in the Williams, best finish of 7th, and Chandler's from a week ago, also 7th.
Mean Ferns purple through Sector 2. Red Bull is in a unique position with them being P3. I mean, they have, I would say, no pressure because all they got to do is, well, finish as high as they can and just have some luck intervene. They probably come in this race with, you know, let's just see what we can get here and just see what happens at the end of it. Watching Mean Frenzy come to the line.
I think Raptor retired in the pit lane. Fern goes up to 9th. He goes up to the top 15. That puts the driver at risk. Obviously, once again, going to be KP21 because Mitchie, Mitchie's in 16th, but Minico's in 15th. Obviously, he retired his time to 15.9. That would put him theoretically actually ahead, actually slightly behind me for who I think is gravel getting out of the way, tracking behind. That's going to be something to talk about too, especially through. Because, I mean, I've talked about how this circuit only has one DRS zone. The overtaking is going to be difficult. Well, look at how dependent on this DRS it's going to be come race time. By the way, Taylor Klein goes up to 2nd. He actually moved this time even further. But it's so reliant on this DRS straight due to the amount of corners you need a lot of downforce for. So that's crucial in qualifying because if you do not get that spacing, that gap to the car in front, especially through Aqua Minerale right here with Taylor Clan, you have a car in front of you, there's no downforce to your front wing. That's going to be a lot of dirty wing in the car in front. That's not going to help your lap at all.
Yeah, I got a message from the Nico. He said he hit the grass on the outside and no traction. Car said, cool, that's cute, bye. And the thing with this track, it's very fast and very narrow. You're talking about traffic. Even just making sure you're out of the way in qualifying is a big deal, but it come in the F2 race, I mean, you have to make sure you're aware of where the pack is because you could turn around a corner and right there's the pack. You could possibly slam into someone. That almost happened to me in the F2 race yesterday.
That could very well happen here tonight. So obviously, I mean, right now, by yourself on the track, not a lot of people are actually out on the circuit. It's only just Bean Fern of the Red Bull, Taylor Klein, and the McLaren. But put the rest of the grid out there. Put the other 19 drivers on the circuit other than you, because I believe we will get one more. If not, we'll have a grid of 19 for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. But having 19 drivers going to run into the Tamburello chicane or even into Tosa on the first lap could very well be a cluster. That could very well have some implications throughout the rest of the race. Hoops on an outlap now.
Yeah, Mean Fern's going through Sector 2 on his second lap, I believe third lap actually. He was a 2/10 up. Yes, this is his third lap.
He's going to want to get as high up as he can, obviously, because, well, this, like I said, the DRS train, that's going to be major tonight, but...
Well, he wants to get up just to avoid being eliminated in Q1.
Exactly.
But I mean, that would be the worst thing right now. Is we know we have one Mercedes and one McLaren not advancing into Q2. The last thing you will want is, if you're those two teams, is one of your drivers not making into Q3 by perhaps a mistake. Same thing with Red Bull. You know, they don't want one of their drivers outside the top 10. They want to have the best chance that they can have.
Right now, they're doing a really good job. In front of the third, Tony step to fourth. They're separated by about a tenth or so, maybe less than that. By the way, Alphanesis has yet to come out. There's still about 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the session itself, qualifying one. But
Look how tight it is from P10 to P2. It's not separated by a lot.
no, it is not at all. That's really close indeed. Even down into, well, the top 10, you see Raptor and Chandler not too far away from each other. About 5 milliseconds, actually, the gap between the Williams and the Alpine. Raptor retired in the pit lane. He believes his tire is safe enough to go into qualifying 2. And you can see, because right now the gap between him and Ron Swanson is about 1.3 seconds. Chandler will start a flying lap. Ron in the Alfa Romeo is going now into Tosa in a couple seconds' time. He's now just started a flying lap for the Ferrari as well, and so did KP21. 3 minutes left to go in the session. A lot of people, if not all of them, are out on track. Mitchie's going through Tosa. He's already invalidated. That's not going to help him out too much.
Well, he'll get another chance to have another lap. Alphanese has not left the pit lane, which makes me wonder if he's just not going to qualify.
It could be a possibility.
Getting down to that time unless he has an issue. Teammate.
Wow.
Oh, who jumped? Hoop.
Hoop is now only 23 milliseconds separated from him, and the McLaren and Taylor McLaren in front of him. Actually, by the way, the podium from a week ago was a lot more interesting than you would have thought. If you tuned in to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, you would have seen, that Sanchez grabbed the win over Deer Hunter than Thomas Death. However, that's not what happened at all. In fact, both Red Bulls still on the podium, but Thomas Death won the race, P2 being Hoopalicious, and P3 being Sanchez. So they kind of swapped and put the Alpine dead center.
Yeah, we knew there was going to be some reporting after the race yesterday or last week, so we'll see how much that affects, you know, the result for Red Bull and mainly also with Mercedes. So
because right now that kind of helped out Red Bull a bit more, put them in a chance to do something here in the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. By the way, Taylor retires in the pit lane. He is safe enough to do so. Only 4/10 off the pole. But for Mercedes, that is not exactly what they needed. They could have used that extra 6 points they got, because 300 got 4th position. And they could have used the points he got from 2nd in this fight against McLaren, because now it's a little bit more favorable to the Woking team compared to what it would have been. And at the final chance, Ron Swanson invalidates. That's going to be heartbreaking. That may be his qualifying done and dusted, because that may be next.
yeah, I believe it is.
On a flying lap going through Variante Alta. He's not going to go into Ravazza in a couple of seconds time, but he's trailing. I believe that was not Michi. It's actually going to be Drix in the other Ferrari going down into Ravazza. He's on a flying lap. Can the Ferrari improve? He's blinking. He may be off his qualifying lap. He's in the pit lane, so that would be correct. Behind him, though, Michi is in kind of the danger point here. Or not Michi, I'm sorry. It doesn't improve.
Yeah, Mitchie's P12. He won't be able to improve. He's with the fuel light on. So he'll have to hope and see. Could come down to pretty much Ed. Weird that Alphanese did not make an attempt, so.
Yeah, he's not going to make the flag.
No, he's actually, Very interesting. I wonder if he had an issue on his end.
Well, very anticlimactic qualifying one. Minico crashing out. He's going to start from the 15th position. Entrona could not get a lap in that was valid enough. He was only about a 10th or so off of KP21. Ferrari and Imola knocked out of qualifying one. That's a big story. Entrona will start 16th. Deer Hunter is going to start 17th, obviously, with his qualifying ban. Alphanesis did not come out of the pit lane in time and didn't get a lap in. He'll start from the 18th position. Unsighted Port, serving his qualifying ban, will start from 19th.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a bad overall race for Ferrari-powered engines. You got Phantom in the Haas, P13, Michi and Ron for Alfa Romeo, P11, P12, and then Drix, P6. So we'll see if they can still kind of be close to where the likes of Mercedes and McLaren. I mean, 6 tenths off was only Drix from Boss Cookie, give or take.
The gap, that is impressive though. Taylor Clan Hoopalicious, Mean Fern, Toneless Death, all basically within about a 10th and a bit, maybe a 10th and some change of each other, from 2nd down to 5th. But everyone from Boss Cookie down to Luciano, the top 8, within 1 second of each other. Chandler only 8 milliseconds outside of that delta, but he's only 14 milliseconds ahead of Raptor in the 10th position. So both Williams will make it into qualifying 2. The Sol Haas will make it into qualifying 2. Both Alfa Romeos are in, and the Ferrari of Entrona is out.
Well, when you've had 3, look at 17th, 18th, and 19th, those are 3 cars that theoretically would occupy the top 15. So when you have a situation like that, it's at least one team's going to benefit from it. And it looks like Haas and Williams were those actually 2 teams that did.
That indeed. So qualifying 1 is done and dusted, and Boss Cookie tops the timing sheets. He is going to be on pole, technically, if you want to think of it that way. But he tops the timing sheets of qualifying 1 from Taylor Clan, about 4.5 tenths back. Hoopalicious 3rd, Mean Fern and his teammate Toneless Death in 4th and 5th, respectively. Drix in the Ferrari in 6th, Sanchez, Luciano, Chandler, and then Supply Raptor, your top 10, Ron Swanson and Michi, both Alfa Romeos 11th and 12th. They make it into qualifying 2. I believe for the first time, both Alfa Romeos have done so. Phantom and the Haas will get it in 13th position, KP21 in 14th. Both Williams will get in, I believe, for only the first or second time this season. But Minico crashing out. He will start 15th with Entonota, Deer Hunter, Alphanesis, and Inside Port not making it into qualifying 2. Well, that's because Deer Hunter and Port had a quali ban.
Yep, and the weather report is all dry.
So
we won't.
Spice.
So no Max Verstappen sending it into turn 1 on the start.
That's not out of the question.
Well, that's true. That's true. That was in the wet, so.
That could very well be a huge factor in this race itself, because the curbs could also play a huge role. Qualifying 2, we have the green light.
I will say this: these curbs are a lot better than Japan.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's still some that you don't want to touch, but there's still a lot better in Japan, where you pretty much play the "don't touch it" game.
Stay off the curbs. Well, this one you can use as much as you want, especially through the Tamburello chicane. You can use all the curbs you want, as long as you don't validate that lap. But you could actually see, let's right on board with Phantom a bit, see if he uses those curbs as he goes out of the pit lane. First one on to the circuit.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of touch him. One thing I wish, and I've never driven it, even when it was on F1 2013, I would love to just have Tamburello, just have a go. Before the layout that was before 1995. I don't think there's one that exists.
I don't think there is, actually. I've not seen one. You'd think on the numerous games they would have at least one layout. I don't think there is one, actually.
Unless if Formula One says, hey, being the fact that we changed it because of the obvious, we don't want this. I can see that.
Very true.
Because the 2013 version actually had the chicane in the front stretch. That, when they raced in 2005, that little right-left chicane, or left-right chicane, right here, right?
Oh, there it is.
Phantom.
further
Just
down
up.
than I thought.
Yeah, which is something Fernando alluded to when he was talking with his battle of Schumacher, saying that if he had it with this layout, that he couldn't keep Schumacher behind because of how long that front stretch is today.
That's going to be the game, because I think a lot of drivers are going to have that same phenomenon. They're not going to be able to keep the driver behind. Well, behind if they don't have that DRS assistance, because if they do, then maybe they'll be able to have a little bit of a fight. But if they don't, they're that sitting duck. DRS here could be from as powerful as 9/10 back. You could possibly try to send for an overtake. Lupalicious, he's invalidated. Same place that, well, Phantom did not too long before.
Well, there's two things you can do. You can pass here in the only DRS straight, which is probably the best place, or you can do what Schumacher tried to do, and just have the driver ahead keep looking at his mirrors and unsettle him. Could do that. Will it work? Well, depends.
It's mainly going to depend on how daring you are, how much you want to send the car into some of these corners, because I know as much as I don't think it's going to happen, someone's going to try to send one down into maybe Aqua Minerale. They may meet the barrier, but I mean, they could try. And if they have that right overtaking partner, they may get it done. But I mean, it's really going to be depending on who you're playing against, basically, who you're racing right now, and also how daring you're on the car. Because if you don't have that DRS, you're not going to make that move down into Tamburello without them making a mistake.
And then you got the hairpin turn. You could maybe do a look on the outside like Montoya did, but you could also end up with the same fate as Montoya did, just get shoved off the track.
Oh no, he didn't see me there.
Yeah.
By the way, Ron Swanson is out. I think that's actually at Ravazza.
Yeah, it is.
So the Alfa Romeo will not take any further part in qualifying too, as Sanchez goes for provisional pole.
Interesting. Let's see. A little bit slower than his Q1 time. I think he ran in the 15s.
I believe you may be correct with that one.
Because, yeah, the top 10, everyone in the top 10 was in the 15s.
Well, so is Cookie. He's now on 15.7 on the medium compounded tire. He'll go for original pole, which will be quickly taken away, which, by the way, the same exact lap time, but Fern does it on softs.
Oh. What Boss Cookie doing on mediums? We'll see if that's just a banker lap for Cookie or if he's looking to start on this tire.
Well, it may be a better strategy to do that reverse strategy. It's going to be most likely that one stop, the soft to the medium compounded tire, the C4 to C3, or vice versa. So if they do try to go on the medium compounded tire to start, maybe have a little bit worse of a first stint, they could very much help come the second stint, because obviously those softs can be a lot better. Rapture goes up to the line. He goes a 16.5 on the mediums as well. That's actually a really good lap as well for the Alpine, not too far off of Cookie and the Mercedes.
I have a question. Did Boss Cookie set that time first?
He did. I don't know how he was second.
Okay. That's why I was asking. So we had the old infamous race at Jerez where we had both Williams and a Ferrari get the same exact time, but being the fact that it was Villeneuve that set the time first, he got the pole. So that'd be interesting, even though it's only Q2.
There you go. Mumu has joined, and did we have? No, we don't. Sanchez is in the AlphaTauri, so I believe Mumu may be actually in the Haas.
Yes, I believe. Yeah, he's in the Haas. So
yes, we do have a full grid of 20 for the final round here tonight.
Watching Chandler in the Williams on softs, looks like he backed out of it, or I can't tell.
Purple sector 2 from Chandler, which I do not believe is right. Because
No.
backed off a bit. So
I wonder if he made a mistake somewhere and he's just keeping his battery charged and then just gonna have another go.
I believe that is exactly what he's doing. He's going to go to the back set, and now he's going to go again. Williams, I believe Chandler, remember he had a good finish a week ago in the top 10, finished 7th position. He'll try to go and do that again, because I mean, he said, when we were talking about the driver of the day, he said he wants to kind of go take that fight to Alfa Romeo. Well, he has one more shot to do so. Can he do it through the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix? Well, he only has one shot to do it. It's going to start now. Whoa, big slide. That was almost bad, just put it lightly.
Yeah, that could have been game over. Yep. up 2 seconds from his previous lap, so he must have made a mistake that we didn't see.
I mean, 2 seconds up, even with that giant slide, shows probably the severity of that mistake last time and how early he backed off. Chandler goes now through into Aqua Minerale, rustling that car in there.
Let's see who else. Drix is just starting a lap. He's on mediums. Oh, who? Be good? He had a bit of a snap.
He's on the medium, so he's going to try to do, well, exactly what Raptor, his teammate, did. He's at the 4th right now, but Chandler now going to go through the final Ravazza. Now into the main straightaway once again. Where does this put him in the Williams? He goes up to a 16.7, about 5/10 off of Raptor on the soft compound tire. Luciano is going through now into Piratella. Not too much now, right about now. There you go. And the Aston Martin.
Okay. I had 2/10 off of his teammate's supply to get P5.
Wow. Even with that slide, had a pretty good lap there.
He had his hands full. A little bit there. Got the thing pointed though. See what Fam does.
But both Alpines are on the medium.
Well, I mean, outside of the first DRS straight being, you know, the prime opportunity to pass, it's really hard to pass here.
Luciano
Lead burn.
and Thomas goes to the provisional pole. So there's that. Thomas does go to the provisional pole, but Luciano splits the two Alpines on the medium as well. So right now, from 5th down to 7th, you have a medium. 3rd from Broskoki, who's about 5/10 or so ahead of Raptor in his lap. And now Taylor Clan goes out on the medium as well. And Trix and the Ferrari has also gone for the medium compound tire. So a lot more have chosen the mediums than I really kind of would have thought.
Yeah, Red Bull doing a split strategy with soft medium. We'll see if Mean Fern decides to go out on softs. You know, the one thing about starting on this medium compound is if you get a safety car pretty much lap, 8, give or take, y'all have no choice but to stay out or gamble on hards, or you can do the soft, pit for softs, and then pit one lap later and put back mediums on. So there is a little bit of a risk with the mediums.
But even then, you would think, well, it's just kind of a lose-lose situation if that does happen. Because, I mean, even if you do go on to another set of mediums, if you have to go pit for the softs and pit off or the soft line of the mediums once again, because you have to satisfy that tire rule, you're basically going to be behind a lot of the guys that you don't want to be behind. So you may not have that chance to get back to where you were. It may just be it's a knife-set strategy. If it goes well, it's going to go really well. But if it goes wrong, it can go really, really wrong. But Taylor Clam's going to start his flying lap. The McLaren now.
I like Red Bull strategy. I mean, maybe that's just their thought is, hey, let's do a split, put both cars on different tire compounds so that they can cover both bases. Because Red Bull, if they want a shot at this championship, they in theory pretty much have to win this race one way or another.
Oh yeah, they need to have a 1-2 and have a little bit of misfortune for both Mercedes and McLaren if they do want that chance.
Well, at the moment, we know one McLaren and one Mercedes won't start in the top 10. We don't know how the race is going to play out, but they're going to have a lot of work to do, Deere and inside of Port, to get into the points. So there is a potential that Red Bull could get it. They're going to need some luck, but first off, Taylor's going to have to set a lap, which he's not done yet. He's in Sector 3.
It's kept it valid so far. Now into Ravazza, he will go. But I think the target he's going to try and kind of go on to is if he can get these mediums on and a really good lap for McLaren here. He wants to aim for where Hoopalicious Luciano Raptor is. Can he do so in the McLaren? He does exactly.
Yeah, he does indeed.
Into 4th, 2/10 off of Boss Cookie. That's a really good time for the McLaren. That should be safely through.
Yeah, that should be safely through. Right now, Phantom occupies the bubble with a 17.8, but we have Drix, who's on out lap. KP21 is on a lap, and Mitchie still yet to set a lap.
Yikes, that's an a validation from Fern into Aqua Minerale. So he's going to have to try again. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go, plus a little bit of change. In qualifying 2, we have a couple drivers on flying laps, one of them being KP21 of the Williams. He's back again. He missed a week ago. Now he'll have a shot once more for the final race here in Williams at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix.
Yeah, Fern's out there on mediums as well, so looks like that's most likely going to be Red Bull's. Well, I don't know. He's actually going to have another go, but he is on medium, so that is the tire that he's going to start on.
He will retire in the pit lane. He'll, I guess, set his time. Drix will now start his flying lap. KP21 validated on his flying, or his flyer. He'll try to go again. Raptor retires. That is in the pit lane as well. He's going to lock his time in. And 16-2, I believe that is on the, is that on the medium? There's the tires. So actually, it was on the medium compounded tire. Chandler also retires in the pit lane. It's going to be between Drix, KP21, and Phantom, who gets into qualifying 3. A lot of drivers are retiring in the pit lane. Mitchie and Ron, or actually, I'm sorry, Mitchie retiring in the pit lane. Ron obviously retired on circuit through Ravazza as he crashed through in the final corner. But now Drix will go through Aqua Minerale. He's going to have a couple of more corners left to go, the final sector, in a few moments' time. Phantom's not going out. Luciano's going out. Sanchez is on a flying lap right now. And Fern's going to try to go again.
Yeah, KP21, his battery is low, so that might hamper him a bit. Unknown of what his time is in relation to what he's previous, being the fact that he's not set a valid time yet.
We'll see. Can Drix get up into the top 10 in a Ferrari? He does go provisional pole, actually.
Wow.
15-4 in the Ferrari. Really good lap by Drix, and that is safely through. Now Phantom and KP, can they have anything for Chandler?
How about Ferrari so far? I mean, we know space, it's not entering my head if who did not qualify. Thank you. But Drix.
Wow.
That, yeah.
Great lap indeed by the Ferrari. He will be safely through, and he'll start on that soft compounded tire for the Grand Prix in a few moments' time. KP21 set his flying lap in 18-0. He's going to go again. Phantom's going to start his flying lap soon.
Yeah, KP21 doesn't have the battery, so unfortunately I don't think he's going to improve. So it's going to come down to Phantom here. He's got to run faster than a 16.728. So he's got to find, give or take, 1.1 seconds.
He's not the only one. Fern is on the medium compounded tire right now. He needs to beat a 15.714 if he wants to start on it. Can he do it through the final corner at the Ravazza? He is blinking in his ERS, and he pits, so he cannot improve. Checker flag flies, and that's going to be qualifying 2 done and dusted. It looks like Sanchez has backed off a tad. Looks like he still may be on a flyer, though. Yes, he is going now through across the line. Can he improve his time at 6th? He goes provisional pole in the Alpha Tauri. That's a really good lap for Sanchez. Beats him by about 2/10, Drix.
Oh, wow. AlphaTauri is also Italy's little team here. Phantom 3/10 up through Sector 1. Let's see what Sector 2 says. Half a second, so he needs to find about 6/10 here in this third final sector. Oh, he runs wide. I think that might have cost him.
That may
Didn't validate.
May have lost a lot of time, though. But can Haas get into qualifying 3 for the first time, I believe, since maybe Monaco? Phantom to the line. He goes. Can he? He does not. Mixed out by about 5/10. That could have probably helped Keynes, but that mistake happened at the very at the outset, and they have stunted that progress there.
Well, he had to basically send it to have a chance, and didn't plan out, but hey, worth a shot.
He gave it his all.
So we have. So I thought Meanfern set his time on the medium compound.
Trying to go out and beat that time, he was unable to do so. So the top 4
in this session. Why does it have him on softs?
Because he did his fastest lap on the soft compound attack.
Oh, I thought it was on the medium compound.
No, he tried to beat it.
Oh wait, no, it was. Yeah, you're right.
So Sanchez, Drix, Toneless, and Meanfern, the top 4 of this qualifying session, all will start on the soft compound tire for the Grand Prix in a couple moments' time. But Boss Cookie on back Taylor Clan, Raptor, Luciano, Hoopalicious, and Chandler. In the top 10, all will start on the C4 medium compound tire. Phantom and KP21 will get first, a free choice, a tire, with Mitchie not setting a time and Ron crashing out. They will also have a free choice attire from 13th and 14th respectively. But qualifying 1 and 2 are done. From 11th down to 20th are set. Now it's time for the top 10. Who gets pole for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix? Qualifying 1, 2, now 3 is up next.
We'll see. I mean, did not have Ferrari on my bingo sheet of being the pole for Q2. Been encouraging for them for the first 2 sessions.
Very well, because it's kind of opposite fortunes. You know, obviously Drix got that provisional pass this lap, which was eventually beaten by the AlphaTauri of Sanchez. But Etrona was out in qualifying 1, which is not really what they want, especially here at the Ferrari circuit. You know, it's the Autodromo Enzo E. Dino Ferrari, you know, so it's a circuit they kind of want to perform well. It's kind of a mixed day already. Sanchez, the only AlphaTauri, kind of the same fortune for the AlphaTauri team as it is the Ferrari team, because obviously they test here a couple of times. And they also test at, I believe it's, what is it, Mugello?
Yes. Is it Tuscany?
No.
I thought I saw them at Mugello.
It probably is Mugello, and obviously Imola as well. But there's another circuit I cannot remember the name of. Let me see. The only way I know it because it's an ACC. Let me
Once you say it, yeah, we have time. I see. Once you say it, I'm gonna go.
Pisano.
Thank you.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So Chandler is now ahead of Sanchez. Those two are going to have a little bit of fun, and they'll actually swap positions. So Sanchez will go ahead of Chandler. Behind him, though, is going to be the Alpine. I believe that may be Hoopalicious behind him, going into the Variante Alta now. So it's going to be Sanchez going to be the first one to cross the line in the AlphaTauri, and he'll set the bar if he can get his lap valid come by the end of his flying lap. And then, obviously, Chandler behind him, which, by the way, I believe is the second time in the last couple of races that the Williams has gotten into qualifying 3. Chandler was unable to do so, I believe. Last week he was close, but he could not get a lap to, I guess, rival that come qualifying 2. He was able to get there into qualifying 1, just not when it necessarily mattered the next session. So Sanchez is going to go first one. He's now going to go into the chicane, a couple of seconds time, and Chandler behind him.
It's easy to say who's not out there. Only Luciano and Thomas at the moment have decided not to partake. Luciano now moves on pit lane. Drix pits on his outlap. Interesting.
Kind of either he invalidated or it's kind of an installation line for Drix. So maybe he thought he was on a certain tire, and he turns out he was on a U set. I am not necessarily sure. We'll find out maybe some point in the future. But Drix in the pit lane. Sanchez going up to Variante Alta. He's also about to complete his lap time. He's going purple the first 2 sectors because he's the first car on the first 2 sectors. So we'll see what his time will rival up to maybe the guys behind him. Chandler has made a mistake. He's let through both the McLaren and the Alpine. Taylor Clan actually looks like he has been pretty quick as well as of late. He got through, I believe, on actually Hoopalicious, who may have also made a mistake as well. Going through Aqua Minerale was the Mercedes of Cookie, but through the line, Sanchez goes 15.5. That's not too far off of what he did in qualifying 2. His time was 15.2. Only 3/10 off of that. Can anyone rival that? Well, the next one to do so is going to be Taylor Clan and the McLaren, who invalidated. So he's not going to do it on that occasion. Hoopalicious, he's next to the line. He did invalidate, so yes, he did make a slight mistake. Same with Chandler behind him. They'll start again.
Let's see what Boss Cookie does. He's invalidated. Never mind.
Meanford's next up to the line. Set valid through Ravatsa. Now he goes to the line. The Red Bull will go. Can he beat the junior team? He cannot at 18.6. He'll go again. I believe he backed off some point during that lap. The next one to the line, though, maybe Sublime Raptor in the Alpine, who's invalidated, so he will not set a valid time. The next one behind him, Toneless Death, will start his flying laps shortly.
Yep. So only 2 have set a time so far. Sanchez with his sister team a 10th off, give or take.
This is going to be a very interesting remaining remainder of this session. Mumu's joined again, so once again, he'll probably be in that remaining Haas car, starting from the 20th position on the grid. But Thomas Sepp will start his flying lap. He's now going into the Villeneuve chicane in a couple seconds' time. Yellow flag, Coalition retires.
Oop.
That is into, no, where is that?
That is after the, yeah.
I saw another yellow flag in the entrance to Ravatsa, so I believe that was someone letting
look here.
Through, though.
Camera angle does not really get a good look at what happened to him. And it's too late now.
That's not going to be a very good session for the Alpine driver. Now it's going to rely on Live Raptor. Can they get up? Because remember, they could still technically be overtaken by Ferrari by the end of this Grand Prix and get into, I believe, the 5th position. But it's going to be slim. It's going to have a miracle. It's going to have to happen if Ferrari wants to pass Alpine in the Constructors' Championship. But Lugalicious may start at the moment. His ceiling is going to be 7th. He may start 10th.
Oh.
Toneless Death on the final chance. It validates in the entrance to the final corner. He'll pit.
Yeah, I think he pits because that was going to be a this in the next lap of where he invalidated. So, well, right now, so far we don't have a time set by Cookie or Taylor or Toneless. And as Taylor now leaves the garage, he'll go back out again. Same thing with Boss Cookie.
Oh, big slide tricks and the extra of Aqua Minerale. He kept it out of the barriers, but he didn't keep it on the track. So he's now going to have to recuperate and do something with his lap, as has now been, well, to put it simply, ruined.
Well, good thing is he won't have to worry about these tires for the race, so he can charge his battery up in time. He can have another go if he's got the fuel.
It looks like he may try to go because his battery is
no.
Never mind. Take it back. Behind him, though, Luciano. He is not invalidated. Will he try to go to the line for the Aston Martin? Looks like he is still sending it. The Aston Martin to the line. He will go. Luciano, what can he do? Can he so far get up to the top 4? He goes provisional pole at 15.4. Oh. That's a good lap for Luciano. Puts him in 10th ahead of Sanchez.
Kind of a weird top 4. I mean, we have an Aston Martin, we have a Alfa Romeo or AlphaTauri, a Alpine, and a Williams in P4. And then there's me.
Or it looks like the grid of an equal tier more so than a realistic.
It does. This is. It looks like a lineup that you'd see if it was a wet race.
Very true. To the line next, I believe, is going to be Supply Raptor. And he is valid, I think, but it may also be...
He is. He's pitting.
And behind him, Taylor is on an out lap, which he'll also pit on his out lap, kind of what Drix did a little bit earlier on.
Well, with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining, probably only leaves you enough time to have one more go, so... How about that by Luciano?
That's a really good lap for Luciano, and as it stands, it's well, provisional pole right now for Luciano. So we'll see how that plays out. But Boski's also on a flying lap going now into the Villeneuve chicane. He may also have something to say about that provisional pole, because he right now, other than two Red Bulls and Taylor Clan, could be right now the favorite for the pole position. Well, he went purple in sector 1. He could be on a charge for that. Through the sector 2 time split and double sector time. And he do now into Aqua Minerale.
Yep, Boss Cookie, I think he's on a lap.
Yes, he is. 49.
Yeah, he is.
7 now into Variante Alta.
That was purple sector 2.
This could be a really good lap for the Mercedes here. He could go to original pole, and that could be a strong performance and a strong qualifying for one side of the garage. They'll make up on what happened on the other side of the garage with that qualifying ban for Deer Hunter. But to the line, Boski will go. Can he go for original pole? He does by about 0.8 of a second. Incredible lap for Boski. 14.6.
Toneless, he's on a lap. He went purple sector 1. He's not set a time yet, so don't know if that's a true purple lap or if this is personal best in this session.
Well, he has a couple of more corners to navigate through. First one being the Variante Alta. He's going to go purple sector 2 as well. So this could be a really good lap for the Red Bull. going down into Ravazza. 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the session. Some drivers on that laps. Taylor Clan, Drix, Meanford. Some drivers in the pit lane. Supply Raptor, Sanchez, Luciano. Some are still on track like Chandler, like Thomas, like Boskiki. But can Thomas have anything? He won a week ago. Can he go provisional pole for this week? He cannot. 5/10 adrift.
Still a good spot to be in for Red Bull.
Very good spot to be in for Red Bull.
He might have enough time. He won't have enough time to come back into pits and, throw on another set and have another go. So we'll see what his teammate Meadford does. He's on his outlap.
Drix, by the way, just went purple sector 1 as well. So if he can try to do what he did, replicate what his lap was in qualifying 2, could we see him as a possible dark horse for pole position in Italy in the Ferrari? That could be a really special story as well at Imola, which is named after Enzo Endino Ferrari.
Well, it's been kind of a painful season for Ferrari. They've not had. He could be on here. I saw a glimpse of it. I think he was 4/10 quicker than Thomas.
If that's the case, he could be on for a really, really good lap here. The Ravazza. Can Drix go a provisional pole in qualifying 3 in Imola at Ferrari circuit? He cannot by 92 milliseconds. Wow. Heartbreak, but a front row appearance nonetheless.
That's heartbreak to miss it by that much, but with the end of the season Ferrari's had, that's pretty impressive.
That is increasingly difficult to do as these rounds come to an end, but Ferrari, well, the package they have this season fits the circuit. Drix just proved it.
Well, it's a fast, twisty little circuit. Well, at Maranello, it's pretty much a fast, twisty circuit. Whoa, wow, Boss Cookie, okay, well.
Well, now that gap is not 92 milliseconds, it's 4/10, but Meanford, he's now going to come to the line of the Red Bull. Can he have anything for Boss Cookie, who improves? He goes to 4th behind Thomas Death, who's in the pit lane. He's not going to take any further part. Chandler retires. Is that in the pit lane? I don't actually. Yeah, it is. Actually, I think
it is.
So a yellow flag, I believe there's an Alpine that was around at the Acqua Minerale, and now Drix letting through that driver as well. But right now, it looks like the session may be done and dusted because you have 12 seconds to do so. If you're not in the line, you better finish your lap and you better do it good. Luciano's going to be the first one to the line this time.
Yeah, he's 2/10 up, so he could possibly get P3.
He does?
Yes.
Wow. Behind Tim's going to be Supply Raptor. Is he up on his time? No, he doesn't. He pits. He's going to be at the highest in 8th position. Drix is done. He's now going to come into the pit lane as well. An impressive day for the Ferrari to 2nd place. Luciano to 3rd. Can Meanford do anything? I don't think so, because either he was off the pace or he was just blocked by Boss Cookie and the Mercedes.
I think he's off the pace because I think Taylor Clan just went by him. So
that may be the case.
It's going to come down to Sanchez and Taylor Clan to change the order at the moment.
Sanchez to the line. He goes to 3rd. And a really good lap from the AlphaTauri. The Italian teams looking quick in Imola. Taylor Clan, he needs to get this for the Constructors' Championship. McLaren are leading it. He now goes
P4.
4th. Wow, that's a good qualifying for McLaren. But what a qualifying Ferrari.
Well,
what a qualifying for AlphaTauri.
Well, we know that both Red Bulls were on softs. Drix was on softs. I can't remember who the other one was on softs, but I think you're going to have Boss Cookie on mediums. So it's going to be interesting to see how Red Bull can deal with having both of their cars on softs, kind of starting P6, P7.
That is quite impressive from Sanchez to outqualify both Red Bull drivers. But Cookie's on pole from Drix and the Italian Grand Prix. Well then, this is a session, if I've ever seen one. It's completely dry, but the results look like that of a wet Grand Prix. Boss Cookie on pole by about 4/10 over Drix in the Ferrari. Sanchez in 3rd. He'll be directly behind the Mercedes on the 2nd row of the grid alongside Taylor Clan and the McLaren. So now, Luciano in 5th, Thomas Death alongside him in the 3rd row of the grid, with Meanford directly behind Luciano and behind his teammate Thomas in the 4th row of the grid alongside the Williams and Chandler. Then you have both Alpines at 9th and 10th, Raptor ahead of Hoopalicious respectively. But now, grid is set. It is, a lot of drivers are out of place. Cars may be ready to be overtaken. If you're the Red Bull team of Fern, Toneless, if you're Deer Hunter, down in the bottom 5, if you're Alphanesis in the AlphaTauri, or Unsighted Port, you could see a lot of overtakes. But right now, the grid is set. The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix is next.
So the trick is, if you're Ferrari, if you're AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, to qualify where you're at, you have to have your other car not make it out of Q1. I did notice that. Like,
So it's confirmed. It is dry once again for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, like we said it was a little bit earlier on. But now it's time for some fun. I cannot wait for it.
It's time to sell this. Time to, basically, this is it. You know, your last chance to do what you can to win the Constructors' Championship if you're McLaren, Mercedes, or Red Bull. Red Bull has both of the cars in the top 6, occupying, I believe, row 3. We have one Mercedes on pole with McLaren. Taylor, P4, and we'll see what type of progress Deer Hunter and Unsighted Port can do. How aggressive that they're going to be going through the field. I'm sure, want to move up the order, but they don't want to put themselves in a situation where they could potentially take them out of the race. That would be a very hard thing to overcome for either the two McLaren or Mercedes.
Definitely indeed. And this tire number 1 is on. Softs for Drix, for Sanchez, for Tomasat, for Meanford, for Phantom, for Alphanesis and Mumu. Everyone else is on the mediums. We'll be back with this.
We're racing.
And it's lights out and away we go. And it is lights out and away we go.
It's lights out and away we go. And it's lights out and away we go.
It's the Dutch Grand Prix and it's lights out and away we go.
We're already going.
Now, a bit delayed a little.
You are watching the Breakout Racing League on Twitch.
So now into Tosa. It's now time. Because it's now the inaugural Emilia Romagna Grand Prix in realistic. The previous 5 races we've had at least 50% of the grid with penalties, and if qualifying is anything to say for, it is going to be a very intriguing Grand Prix itself. Look at the qualifying order. Mercedes, Ferrari, AlphaTauri, McLaren, Aston Martin, both Red Bulls, a Williams, 2 Alpines, a Haas, a Williams, 2 Alfa Romeos, and an Aston Martin, your top 15. With Ed Throne Hunt, Deer Hunter, Alphanesis, Unsighted Port, and Mumu, you would think, well, was this a wet qualifying? No, it was completely dry. So that was the shakeup we had in qualifying. Imagine the race that's up next, but it's crucial right now for the man in 4th and his teammate in 19th. They need to get at least 4th and 5th if they want to seal the Constructors' Championship. But they have to fend off, and right now, trail the man in 1st, because he's going to have to set the pace. Because right now, his teammate down in 17th, he needs to do something and help out his teammate Cookie in 1st. Red Bull in 6th and 7th. At the moment, it would still go to McLaren, but there's still a long way to go. 32 laps will determine who is the Constructors' Championship of Realistic. So then Mumu in the Haas, along with everyone else on the grid, will go up to their grid spot. Mumu to the 20th grid spot. And Phantom goes up to his 11th grid spot as well. So now, we look to the lights for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. It's been a season that has been chaotic. It's been great. We look to the lights one final time in Season 7. And it's lights out, and away we go, and a really good start off the line from Drix. He's going to be ahead, I believe, of the Mercedes of Boss Cookie. Down to the turn 1 we go. It's going to be wheel to wheel. Why is it not showing the Major contact, but it looks like Drix is still ahead of Boss Cookie. Excuse me, I'm trying to get these things to work. It's not working out too well. So Drix ahead of Boss Cookie, ahead of Sanchez, Taylor Clan, Luciano, Toneless Death to sixth position, sorry. Chandler to seventh, Hoobalicious into Fly Raptor. Meanfern's down to the 20th position. What is happening to the Red Bull? Minico, Deer Hunter, look at how far they've come up at the start. Minico up 5 positions, Deer Hunter up 7, and they're not done yet. Deer Hunter gonna be down into Piratella. He's gonna look for the move in the Aston Martin. A little bit too far back this time.
What happened to Meanford there at the start? Now he's P20. That's not what Red Bull wants. However, you alluded to it. Deer Hunter is on the charge. Up to P11. Wasting no time. Oh, Moon's retired, and so has KP21. This is probably going to be a safety car.
And Alphanesis is off. Oh, what has happened? Big scrap. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars involved at Aqua Minerale. KP21, Moo Phantom, and Alphanesis.
This brings out the full safety cars, so we'll see if anyone has to pit for damage. Not ideal start for Red Bull with Meanfern now in P16, but a really good start for Mercedes. Deer Hunter already in the points.
That's something that really Mercedes needed, but it's not what Red Bull needed. Now Fern's in the pit lane. Inside of Port also in the pit lane. Same with Phantom and Alphanesis as well. So a wing change for the Red Bull, a wing change for the McLaren. It was even more damage and scrap than we thought. The Haas is in, the AlphaTauri are in, both for probably wing damage, but Drix in the Ferrari got off the line better from Boss Cookie and took the lead of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix at Ferrari's circuit. That's going to be crucial if he can keep the Mercedes behind. And if Sanchez can actually attack Boss Cookie in front of him, this could be a very interesting Grand Prix itself.
Well, one thing with Boss Cookie, yeah, he's going to want to charge and get the lead, but he has his teammate now in the points in 10th place, although it's a point at the moment. Inside of Port is still 16th, and he just came off a pit road, and Taylor right now is P4, so we'll see how aggressive Boss Cookie wants to be with this.
Well, right now with Cookie, he needs to be aggressive, but he needs to still remember that Deer Hunter's in this race too. As it stands, Taylor Clan will gain a total of 12 points. So if Deer Hunter can get up to Taylor Clan and get both Mercedes ahead of McLaren, where both of them are on the podium, and Taylor Clan is 4th, that may be enough to clinch the championship right here.
Well, Drix is on the softer compound, so he will have some, he could possibly be able to hold Boss Cookie off. We'll see if Cookie just wants to wait until Drix pits, and then Cookie tries to open up a gap.
So now we have an interesting situation here. Because a lot of these guys, like you talked about earlier on, that safety car, well, it's not really effective now. Because obviously a lot of the grid is on the medium compact tire. But what about these guys on the hards? Meanfern and Alphanesis, both Honda-powered cars are on the hards here. Do they stay out? Nope. Alphanesis comes in. He may go on to the medium compact tire and go to the end of the Grand Prix. He will satisfy those tire rules.
Yeah.
So now, does Meanfern do the same thing? Or does he try to stretch it on the hards here?
If he was going to try to not stretch on the hards, he'd be in right now, but he chooses not to. What it does do is it does leave his options open just in case another safety car comes out, or if he can make this hard compound work, not pit the rest of the way, but I don't know how it's going to work for Red Bull. If I was Red Bull, I would be calling Meanfern in for the pit for mediums, but I don't know. The fact that, well, safety car might be in this lap.
Well, if it is in this lap, which would be kind of a stretch. Right now, with everyone on the mediums, it's going to be go. It's going to be go time right now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the biggest key here. Because if you go now, especially Drix, he needs to get away. That's the safety car. It kind of helps him a bit because obviously it's off of the tires. But
yeah,
it hurts him a bit because he couldn't pull away. Well, we go in this lap, so now he'll have that chance to pull away. And maybe even Sanchez go attack Cookie, which he tried to do down in turn 1. We saw a brief stint of that before we finally got back up to the top because I apologize. He got stuck on the rear carts, and, well, that's obviously not ideal. So Trix, once again, will lead us to the safety car line. He'll be full discretion. He goes really early. He may have caught Cookie off guard, because here comes Sanchez.
He did.
Yellow flag clear. He's past the line already. Sanchez going to go to the right-hand side. Cookie's going to hold everything he's got. He wants the second place. Sanchez to the left-hand side. Trix may even be under pressure here. Braking really late. It's going to be Cookie, but he stays behind the Ferrari.
Let's see. Now we can see it. This Ferrari opens up the gap. Deer Hunter now up to P9. Everyone else kind of holding serve. Oh, Luciano spins.
Oh, big
and
crash.
he's out.
Will that be a safety car?
Let's see. Right now, no message of a VSC or anything.
That may not be a safety car. I think
It is off the track, so
that may be the case.
it looked like off the exit of the kind of the second chicane there. Just lost it. Unfortunate
safety
for
car.
the Aston Martin.
It's going so well for Luciano. Minico now has a time penalty, 3 seconds to find him into his race time. Hoopalicious on Chandler, battle for 6. The Alpine goes ahead of the They're about 7.
Yep, and now Chandler has to do a deer behind him, who's now up to P8.
Right now for Williams.
Here comes Cookie.
Oh, look at this. He goes for the lead, missed that. Now Cookie goes and makes the move on Trix. Deer makes the move on Chandler. And now Mercedes goes up a position. Now they're in 7th and crucially 1st.
Yeah, let's see, Deer Hunter will probably want to get clear of Hoopalicious as quickly as he can, being the fact that Hoop does not have DRS. So that way, Deer Hunter can continue his charge forward. It's been a really good start for Mercedes at the moment.
It looked like Cookie actually went a little bit deep, almost enticed Trix to go for the move. He obviously backed out of it because they didn't change their positions as it were. But Deer Hunter now is going to look for Hoopalicious. How hard will the Alpine fight the Mercedes here? Because, I mean, the Mercedes is right now showing he has that pace. It's quicker. And Deer Hunter may try to make that move as assertive as he can, but he needs to be as cautious as he can. Any mistake could end up in the barriers. Beanberg gets past Edson on that battle for 13th. He now goes up closer and closer to the points, which right now is looking out of order for Red Bull to be having this kind of luck so far this race. Thomas to 5th, Beanberg to 13th. But Cookie leads the race from Trix, from Sanchez, Taylor Clan in 4th, and Thomas Death not so far behind him in 5th.
Let's see what for Deer Hunter. He won't have DRS this lap.
Won't need it.
No.
Not even close. Deer is going to use that slipstream the battery and get well through the Alpine way before the corner in the braking zone. Alpinesis gets past Beanberg in the AlphaTauri. The Red Bull swap around.
Yep. Mean Fern still P14 on his hards. So far, Drix is still kind of staying with Boss Cookie, but the soft tires are gonna fall off sooner rather than later.
Which is a huge question for Thomas Death. Obviously, he's one of the drivers competing for this Constructors' Championship for Red Bull. And with him still being on these softs, he's obviously going to have to make that move. Alpinesis now goes up to 11. But he's going to have to come into the pit lane. He's going to have to get off these softs. Phantom also gets the time penalty. A lot of moves are happening. But, oh, really wide, by the way. Who was that? That may have been Chandler. If not, it was Raptor. Regardless, really, really wide through the Variante Alta. Can I get back to Thomas Death, please? And thank you. Anyways, he's going to have to go to the pit lane and get off these soft compound tires sooner or later. And he's going to have to go for this field himself. So
Taylor needs to get by Sanchez here. Because Sanchez is not in DRS. He'll take a look.
Gets it done.
Got him.
The Taylor fan gets past gets past Sanchez. Now he has to go chase after Drix. And the Ferrari ahead of him, 1.7 seconds. Sanchez not too far behind. He's just not going to be able to make that move into the Villeneuve chicane.
Hey, look at this.
Look at this move.
Drix tried.
He's not letting Mercedes go, is he?
No, he's not. He was about a half a second to 6/10 off of him basically ever since Cookie got by him, but he did take a peek there.
took a peek, and that's really going to have to be the story of this race. Can you take a peek, and how aggressive do you want to be with that peeking as well? So Deer Hunter now going to be closing up to Thomas Death. That'll be crucial to get through on the Red Bull, and he's obviously not going to be easy on the Mercedes. But what do they do here at AlphaTauri? Do we possibly think another kind of a team order move again with these Sanchez and Thomas Death? Which I don't know how that would work, because Deer Hunter is right there now.
Well, they're also still got to deal with Taylor Clan, and if Sanchez thinks he can get right back after Taylor Clan, then I know you don't want to make that kind of call, but, you know, we've seen AlphaTauri and Red Bull kind of play along with each other, as they should. Here comes Sanchez. Takes a look to the inside.
He's going to stay there, but he'll get the move done. Sanchez over Taylor Clan.
He stayed right with Boss Cookie. This is...
Look at this. Deer Hunter poked his nose in. Thomas Death went around the outside. Deer Hunter down the inside of Tosa. He'll look for the move. The Mercedes not going to have the traction out of it, though.
No, the Red Bull had a better traction. Ed Tronha picks up another, his first 3 second.
Penalties aplenty. That's probably the story of this race so far. But through Aquaman we go.
Drix is spun.
And that is not what the Ferrari wanted.
Just the back end snapped around under the loud pedal there.
So that's going to release Boskin without any pressure. Yellow flag through Aquaman. That's Etronha around. Both Ferraris in the same corner.
The VSC. See what. Do we have someone missing?
That's why. Red Tonga. And
Well,
Sanchez is in. Here we go. Taylor Clan is in as well, off the mediums.
So what does
interesting?
That is a interesting choice for the McLaren.
Now, with all of those pit stops happening, Mercedes could very well be in a crucial position here.
I don't understand why pitting the hards. I really don't.
Well, they'll have to make it work. I mean, there's no going back. Now, Minico drive-through, and he wasn't the only one. Drive-through, I believe, I can't remember who, I didn't see it in time, but Minico has a drive-through, that's all I can tell you.
I'll see if I can go find that for you. I did too.
See that, or was the time penalty? But Ed Perona's in the pit lane. He will now pit for a new front wing. Alfa Nisis and Minico, they swap around. The AlphaTauri ahead of the Aston Martin down into the Varianti Alta.
Looks like Minico got a 3, well, no, it was only just him, so interesting.
Okay, well, I saw 2.
I thought I saw 2 as well.
Here we go. Thomas Death and Deer Hunter. This will be a crucial move for the Mercedes to get through on the Red Bull as soon as possible. Gaining on the Red Bull. He's gaining on the Red Bull. To the right of the Red Bull, he'll go. Thomas Death will not give it up easy. Down into the Tamburello chicane. The Mercedes will get it easy. Wow. And it's a 1-2 now for Mercedes.
Thomas didn't make it easy for him, but Deer Hunter just didn't care.
He said, I see you defending. I'll go one further. I'll go around the outside. Great move.
And if you know Star Wars, Deer Hunter had the high ground. Well, we'll see now. Well, we have a Mercedes 1-2, and inside of port is P8 for McLaren with Taylor P13. We actually have both Red Bulls in the points as well, so interesting how this is going to play out. And so far from
the gap
P17, yep, go ahead.
The gap between McLaren and Red Bull are 19 points, let me clarify to give you an actual numerical value. And the gap between McLaren and Mercedes is apparently 23, which is why I don't think it's necessarily right.
I don't think it is right.
So we don't know who's the Constructors' Championship.
I think with how tight it is right now, I would probably say Mercedes is in the lead of the championship. And the fact that they're getting max points and McLaren right now is only getting 4 points. Excuse me.
I think it's pretty safe to assume that, because right now let's just have a ground zero and say if you outscore McLaren by more than 20 points, you're probably the champion.
Yeah.
So at the moment, that is what, 43? Because fastest lap at the moment. Actually, no, it's 44 because Deer Hunter has that fastest lap, with McLaren only grabbing right now 4 points. That is a total of 40 points gained. That is an easy gap to got.
I will relay a message to see if we can get the exact point.
Tried. I really didn't see it. Taylor plans to look for the move on Phantom. I said we could possibly see someone send it down to the Aqua Minerale. It's not Taylor on this occasion. Got better of it.
Yeah, Toneless pits. Doesn't get a penalty, so good on him. Pam picks up another 3.
So what's crucial is now, Meadford, can he make it on his hard compounded tires, the C3s, I'm sorry, the C2 as it were, but if he can make it, how far gone will they be? Mitchie, we're having 5 second time
well,
in the pit lane.
Right now we do know the top 5 have to pit no matter what. He's, what, give or take, if I do the math, 6 seconds behind Chandler. This tire, I believe, will make it the rest of the way. What this does do, though, for Mean Fern is if the safety car does come out, he will basically be net P8 and pit again. So I think if you're Mean Fern, you would like the safety car. Ooh, he just almost gave himself one. That corner is tricky, by the way. I'm surprised I didn't die there last night. But no, the top 5 still have to pit. He could still be ahead of Supply and Chandler by into the race. We'll see.
It's going to be close, because right now, as it stands, by the way, Chandler, speaking of him, has been overtaken by Alpha Nisus. The Alpha Tauri now moves up to 5th. Remember, he pitted about on lap 3 or so with that safety car. Taylor Flag now says the fastest lap. That's pretty crucial for the championship. Yellow flag through. That's Aqua Minerale, and I think that is Mitchie.
He does that on the hard compound as well, but Sanchez gets back at Taylor. So that knocks Taylor out of the points.
But she wouldn't get that fastest lap.
No, he would not.
So now, Alpinisis is pretty close to Raptor. Mitchie's not having a fun time. That's now a 5 second time, 30% for corner cutting on top of a 5 second for speeding in the pit lane. He's not having an enjoyable afternoon in the Alfa Romeo here tonight. The final round, by the way, round 24, the Breakout Racing League Release Performance Championship. Ron Swanson lost a couple of positions. He gets overtaken by Sanchez and Taylor. Mitchie now speeds the pit lane.
I think Mitchie's, Mitchie, you'll get him next time, buddy.
Tolestev gets up past Phantom. Now he's up into 12th. And if Fern can make it to the end of the Grand Prix, the gap between himself and his teammate is plus or minus 10 or so seconds.
Well, one would assume if Toneless can make it through Ron, then the Taylor, then the Sanchez, which Ron still has to pit, if I'm not mistaken. He has pitted already. No, he has not pitted, I'm sorry. I would assume if Toneless has more pace than Mean Fern on his harder tire, Red Bull should just let Toneless through, because it does nothing for them if Toneless just sits behind Mean Fern.
Very true. I mean, because if Toneless does have that pace, because we don't know how the tire wear will really work out by the end of the Grand Prix, because you could very well have a lot better tire wear on the hards than the medium. So if Toneless does catch him, is it too late for his tires? Minico, 3 second time penalty now at the end of his race time again. Hoop running wide instead of Varianzi outside. That's not going to entice Supply Raptor, though, to get through this time, because he now has a little bit of an issue behind him. Alpinisis is lurking in the wing. His rear wing, to be exact there.
we've seen some races where when the hard compound is not an ideal tire, but it is a backup tire, like especially on a very early safety car. The first, third of that stint, yeah, the hard compound tire gets, it can't keep up. Well,
Raptor, Hoopalicious, almost Alphanesis. We almost went 3 wide down to the turn 1, but Raptor and Alphanesis will overtake Hoopalicious. Now we kind of swap around, but look at this. Hoop and Alphanesis back again. These two are going to fight down into Villeneuve, and it's going to be side by side through the first, now the second. Off the track. Alphanesis into the gravel. And Chandler now may look for the move. He does try to look for the move at Atosa. He's going to try to go for it. The Williams to the inside, but he's not going to have the traction. Alphanesis holds on, but that was almost not very good for that AlphaTauri there.
Somehow, some way, they all kind of sort of escaped through. It's going to be interesting to see what this hard compound does.
Very much indeed. I mean, if this hard compound tire, if it does hold up, this could play really well. Not anymore, because as soon as I went to him, I'm sorry, Fern. Mean Fern with a 3-second time penalty. But back to what I was saying, if it does hold out for Fern and his hard compound tires can go to the end of the Grand Prix, he is a really good position here, because he could be theoretically probably even battling for the lead of the race. He's only 20.9 seconds behind Cookie.
Well, another thing for these hard compound tires, Taylor Clan set the fastest time on the hard compound tire. So
very true.
There is pace in them.
Very true indeed. Taylor Clan is kind of looking for the move on Sanchez. Goes too far back to this 9.
I guess Ron had a bit of an issue or made a mistake because Tonus has gone through. Now he's up to P11. We'll see how quickly Tonus can charge after Taylor Clan.
Speaking of charging after, no one really has been in the same postcode to Boscovite, barring what happened to Trix earlier on. But Deerhunter has slowly been decreasing that gap. Now the gap between them two, the two teammates, is 3.4 seconds. Now, if you do remember back a couple of races ago to COTA, the Circuit of the Americas, the United States Grand Prix, what did we see there?
Well, we saw a swap. Oh, that's gonna really maybe play a role later. Taylor Clan gets a 3-second. Well, we saw a swap there because I forgot which driver. I think Cookie was still in the shot of the championship, so that was a move done for the championship. I think here, maybe if they do a swap, as Boss Cookie saying thank you for that, we could see it, because they're not in the championship fight and they're not directly fighting with each other right now of where they sit 1-2.
Speaking of fighting, the AlphaTauri and Alpine teams, they've had a kind of, over the season, they've had a quiet battle. And, this is a race where they've kind of made their noise now. 2 Alpines swallowed up by 1 Alphanesis, but more specifically the AlphaTauri of Alphanesis. So right now what they're doing is they kind of are utilizing each other for that slipstream, because, not too long ago, Raptor was in position. He was in the he was up to P3, he was on the podium, where Hoopalicious got the DRS and overtook him, and then Alphanesis followed suit, but he's going to kind of follow through again. They have the same effect maybe a couple laps from now, because maybe a couple of laps or so, make a swap.
Well, one thing also, if you're Mercedes, you're 10 seconds clear of P3. So Deere could just sit there. Mercedes is getting what they want right now. They're getting a 1-2. Now they don't have fastest lap, but they're getting the best chance that they have right now to win this championship.
Comes Alphanesis on Hoopalicious. The AlphaTauri gets past the Alpine. Now it's 2 Alpines chasing after the AlphaTauri.
Tonus has not really closed in on Taylor and Sanchez as quickly as I thought.
Needs to actually make a swap. Taylor gets past Sanchez. By the way, if they were to stop now, both Mercedes, they would come out behind unsighted port, and most likely, actually, they may be behind Wienfern as well, because, the pit lane here at Imola is really long. It's really slow compared to, the straightaway you have next to it. It may be close between them and Fern, but it may also be Fern has the upper hand right now.
We'll just see if how far front can be up the order. Yeah. One thing that's going to hurt Mean Fern, the same thing with Taylor right now, is their 3 seconds. It might hurt them unless Boss Cookie or Deer get them. Deer has closed in a second on Boss Cookie, by the way, over the last lap and a half.
He has. Looks like he has the better pace of the two Mercedes cars. Speaking of better pace, it's kind of slowly going unnoticed under the radar outside of Port now at the 7th. Now he's going to most likely make that up to 6th as he gets past Chandler down the straightaway, which he does. Drinks that time penalty in the process. So does Taylor Quinn now with the fastest lap.
9 lap hards.
He's trying to keep that away Mercedes as best as he can, because if he takes that fastest lap point away from them, and they get 1-2 like they are right now, Raptor now with a time penalty, and McLaren get around maybe 6-7 or 5-6. Oh, around goes Raptor, I think. No, it's Hupalicious, I'm sorry. He goes around in front of his teammate, thankfully. He goes, so now he's going to be behind inside of Port Chandler. He may even be under pressure from Meanford going down into Piratel in a couple seconds' time. He's not going to be close enough for a move, but his tires may be feeling it now.
Mean Fern has Taylor all over him.
Taylor's not going to play nice. He wants this position.
No. Well, now he sees 2 positions ahead of him now. It was just 1, but now it's 2 with Hoop having his issue.
So that is going to be a lot of incentive for the McLaren to get through, but he's going to have a little bit of difficulties getting through. But I think right now, Hupalicious may either pin this time, or he's going to be a sitting duck down the straightaway, which, by the way, Deere is now within 2 seconds. He's closing in on Cookie rapidly. That pace is coming alive for Deer Hunter, and the Alpine does come in. Hupalicious in the pit lane.
Well, we'll see what happens here with Taylor. I mean, he is finding pace on this tire. If he could get through Meanfern, who Meanfern will have DRS because of thanks to Hoop. He said that magical position was P4, P5. Well, he can get close to it. They're going to have to catch Alpinisto.
The issue, though, with McLaren in relegation to Mercedes is
Supply.
The gap between Mercedes right now, when they come out of the pit lane, they will be around Meanfern. When Taylor Clan, he could come into the pit lane, which I don't think he will. If Meanfern stays out of the way, Taylor Clan will. But what about Port? He has to come in, and he'll be behind not only Taylor, Meanfern, he may be behind Sanchez, Toneless Death, maybe even Drix, or, I mean, if it's severe enough, maybe even Phantom. So that's going to be a position that Port's going to have to work through in such a race. As speaking of, here comes
Boss Cookie's in
the pit lane. Yes, he is. So is it going to be a soft or a hard? For the Mercedes, it is a soft compounded tire to the end of the Grand Prix.
Well, we saw, I think, Drix do 11 laps, 12 laps on him, so they can do them, but we also saw Drix make a mistake, so unknown of how good this tire is. Taylor's lining up Meanfern on the front stretch here, and he'll get the job done. Up to P3 he goes.
So look at Cookie. He's behind Sanchez in the 6th position. So about 25 seconds is the time lost in the pit lane. Sanchez, Meanfern, Taylor Clan, Alpinisis can theoretically make it. Now, will their tires be healthy? Probably not. But yellow flag, by the way, through. That is McLaren inside of Port.
That's inside of Port.
That is really crucial to this championship for McLaren, because now he's even further back than when he was. He now sees Phantom behind him.
And he did that out of the pit lane.
Now, I'm not sure if he had contact or if it was on his own doing, but regardless, he's now further behind. He's now behind the Alpine of Hupalicious. Anton has a time penalty, and Deer Hunter's in.
Well, we'll see if Alpinice, nope, Alpinice decides to pit as well.
That will relinquish Taylor Clan, I think, actually in the lead of the race. Because, yeah, it will.
Yes, it will.
It's going to be close, actually. I think right now it's going to be really close between the two. Not even close at all. So Taylor Clan ahead of Meanford. No. Then you see Cookie making the move on Sanchez. He's now at the 3rd. Deer Hunter to 5th. He is in a perfect position right now because now Taylor Clan has to fend off a Red Bull and 2 Mercedes, but look at Cookie down the inside of the Villeneuve chicane. He makes it work. That was aggressive. He had to get that done. Hoop now with the fastest lap.
Yep, we'll see how aggressive he's going to be with Taylor. Taylor's on 12-lap hards.
This may be a battle that Taylor Clan is just not destined to win here. Unless he can find a way to keep not 1, but maybe even 2 Mercedes behind. It's going to be a tall order for the McLaren Taylor Clan. He's going to have to find something, make his McLaren as wide as possible. Weaving a tad bit, trying to break the slipstream down to the Variante Alta. But it's going to be all for nothing down this main straightaway. If Cookie can get a good exit, it's going to be game over.
I think Cookie just needs to be patient and just wait for that. Right here. I mean, don't want to throw it away here.
Here we go. Deer Hunter past Sanchez. Down into Ravatsa. He's actually past Meanburn as well. But here comes Cookie on Taylor Clan. He goes to the right. And that move, it's going to be a battle that is not going to win. Taylor Clan is. But here comes battle behind him. Deer Hunter. Can he stay ahead? He does stay ahead. Now he can chase after Taylor Clan as well. And right now, it's looking really good for Mercedes.
Very good indeed. And with inside of Port's issues leaving pit lane, it's not looking ideal for McLaren at the moment.
No, it's not. And right now for Ferrari, Red Bull, well, Ferrari too. Ferrari's actually got up with a really good recovery drive, by the way, for Trix. He's up to 7th again. But more specifically, Red Bull, the points they get from this race, 5th and 6th, they've kind of clawed back what theoretically was not that great of a start for Meanburn. But he still has about another 10 or so laps to go on those hard compounded tires. Can he make it in the end? Well, we'll have to see at about 10 laps itself. But now Deer Hunter is going to be pressurizing Taylor Clan. It's once again probably going to be deja vu for Taylor Clan. But this time, Deer Hunter seems a little bit farther back down into Ravatsa than Cookie was a lap ago. But it may still have the same outcome. The exit of the Ravatsa. Yep. Here comes Cookie. Farther down the distance. He now has fastest lap. Chance of the time penalty, but Deer Hunter has the DRS and has 2nd place now. But can he get away? That's going to be the crucial part. Taylor Clan is not going to let it go.
No, but Taylor just doesn't have the grip to follow right now. Compared to, I mean, just look how fast Deer Hunter just pulls away.
Yeah, right now it's already almost out of DRS range.
Yeah, with only 1 DRS straight, yeah, it's over. I mean, now we'll see perhaps if Sanchez can catch Taylor Clan, but going with what we've seen with people on the medium compound, Sanchez is probably going to have to pit within 4 laps.
So can he make it to the end of the Grand Prix? Well, we think highly unlikely. He could very well still do so. Fern now with the 3-second time penalty. His total up to 6. You see the penalties on your screen right now. 0 to Mercedes, 3 to Taylor Clan, 3 to Sanchez, 6 total for Red Bull, but 6 of them obviously going toward Meanburn, 0 for Thomas Steph. That could really have pretty big implications as well. Look down for inside of Port. He has no penalties, but Chandler, Raptor, Drix all do. Now Drix has another one.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Now, Toneless could be the one that does not pit again. Right now, he's in the gap to get P5 over his teammate. Might be within a shot to get P4. But one would assume will assume, unless Alfanese is going to play the team game for Red Bull, you know, Alfanese should recover enough, or should overtake Toneless Death, but we'll see.
That's the thing. We thought that before, and well, the AlphaTauri stayed behind. Alfanese has pretty much been a really big key player in a couple of occasions so far this season for that senior team for Red Bull. Think back to Australia, where they kind of had a little bit of team orders going on with himself and Minico. Think back to Jeddah, that race to the line.
Yeah.
And when we found out that Alfanese actually lifted a bit to allow Minico to win that Grand Prix, as much as it did pain him. You know, he took one for the team, and well, You saw how that's played out, and he's obviously really well liked from that Red Bull Academy and that Red Bull Garage. So, I mean, will we see the same thing again? Because right now you see AlphaTauri has nothing to lose, and at the moment, Red Bull has nothing to gain.
No, and to be honest right now, barring some mayhem in the next closing 7 laps, I think there's 7 to go, whatever the amount is, it's not going to go Red Bull's favor. And Alfa Nice does get by on the step. I'll tell you someone that's made a nice recovery, though, Drix in PA. I know he's gotten a bunch of penalties, but
yeah,
we'll see how it shakes out.
It doesn't factor in where he's been in the race, but remember, Drix was up to first by the end of the first lap. And actually,
he was
by the
up
end of the first corner, I should clarify.
Well, until he spun, he was actually fighting Boss Cookie for the lead, so Sanchez, I believe that's now a 6th penalty back. 6, yes, it is 6 seconds, so
that's not going to help him by the end of his race time, but you see up 15 positions. Deer Hunter started 17th. He is now up to 2nd. You see Alfa Nice and Tona Step. I'm sorry, not Alfa Nice and Tona Step. The other Red Bull, that being Meanford. So there is no team orders between Alfa Nice and the Red Bull team. It's just no attack. You have nothing to lose. Just don't do anything stupid. Alfa Nice now into Ravazza. Will stay behind. He thought better of it, but going really deep is Meanford actually onto the gravel a bit. And now Alfa Nice has the position.
according to a source, Port has to be P7 in order to tie. And this, with how it stands right now, Port will have to be P7 for it to be a tie. This is coming from Bailey. So, and with where Port is at the moment, well, I don't think he's going to be able to get it.
It could happen, because obviously the drivers in front of him, Chandler, Supply Raptor, Drix, all have time penalties.
Yes.
So if one mistake up front, let's say Meanford has to stop and come in for a new set of tires, and Port gets within the penalty window, which right now he may actually have that penalty window. You see right now 6 seconds to Drix. That'll be put his time back from the leader at 25, and that would put him about 2 seconds or so clear of inside Port. So it could be close. He could definitely get Poopalicious, barring that he doesn't get a time penalty, and Chandler if he doesn't get one as well. It could be points, but it may be out of reach. There's still enough time.
Oh, well, cancel that out. Who is
inside Port?
Port has spun.
That's not going to help him. His now is looking unlikely for this to happen. But remember, it all could change, because if it stands like this and Port needs to get P7, obviously he knew he was at 6 points plus the 15 Taylor Clan has right now. And, well, the 44 that Mercedes has. That means the gap they have would be 23. And, well, they need to outscore him by 21. So the gap is 21 points. So, yeah, we were right. It was a little bit incorrect. So the gap is 21 points between Mercedes and McLaren for that Constructors' Championship. The gap between the two Mercedes, though, is under a second.
Yeah, I think if I was the Mercedes engineer, I'd be telling him, hey, either calm down or just you have 7 seconds over Taylor right now. There's no point in fighting, you know. By the way, I want to say thank you to Bailey, who did the math for me.
And now Port has a time penalty as well, so that's pretty much out of the window.
It's unraveled, unfortunately, for the Woking base team.
So it's either going to be drama for the Mercedes team, where they maybe come together, or, well, it's going to be solid and wrapped up for that Mercedes team. Both drivers harvesting energy. Cookies right now leading Deer Hunter, but they're both leading Taylor Clan by about 8 seconds. We have about, right now, 4 laps to go left in the Realistic Grand Prix season, much less the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, and we cannot stress this any more than we already have. It's been a great season, and it's a shame to see it go, but it's been a great way to conclude it, this race. The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix has been pretty exciting, more than we actually thought it would have been, especially for the Constructors' Championship. A lot of things have happened, a lot of shakeups.
Oh, Boss Cookie gets a 3, so I guess this will make Deer just sit there, or maybe they should swap, but we'll see.
Well, as long as they don't necessarily, quote-unquote, mess this up in any way, I mean, they can stand right here. as it stands right now, not make any mistakes, actually back off a bit, because Taylor Clan has penalties as well, so they don't need to really have anything. And Taylor Clan has about a 3-second gap to Sanchez, so he doesn't have the luxury of pitting for fastest lap. So
that's the other flip side of this coin. You know, Deer Hunter or Boss Cookie, the position that they are in the championship is not going to change for the drivers. So, but here we go.
Well, on track though, Deer Hunter gets past Boss Cookie, so now it looks like they won't swap. They may just stay like this, and if they do, they will have it Constructors Champions to their name for Season 7. They have 3 laps to go. The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Deer Hunter leads Boss Cookie, and that's been a great drive from Deer Hunter from 17th position on the grid after his qualifying ban at the exit. And I guess, you know, after some serious inquiries after what happened that final corner back in Abu Dhabi a week ago, this has been arguably one of the best things he actually has done so far this season. It's been an incredible drive. We talk about Boss Cookie back from Singapore when he was back up in the top 10 from like 17th after the first lap, and back up in the top 5 after the first 5 laps. This has been pretty good as well.
If you look back to the first half of the year, as Taylor now has 6 seconds of penalties, if you look at the first half of the year where Mercedes were having their issues, and it looked like Red Bull and McLaren were going to run away with the championship, and then all of a sudden they kept tripping over each other, if you'd like. Mercedes, the second half of this year, they've been the most consistent team.
They have come alive, and it's been a great deal to watch them. And around Acqua Minerale again, inside of port, that's pretty much going to affirm it, unless something were to change. In about 2 laps time, or maybe 1 and 2 sectors, Breckley will have another one. I'm sorry, yeah, that's right, never mind.
All right.
Don't second guess yourself. Always follow your dreams.
Well, unless you're Kentucky in basketball. I saw that hit my phone and I laughed. I had to turn my mic off.
They lost?
They lost to a 15 seed.
Oh no, that's not good. Port will pit, and
that will do it.
I don't think he's actually going to have enough to get that fastest lap. But even if he does, at 44 points, well now, if he does get the fastest lap, 43, because I mean, it will go to no one. Port won't get the fastest lap point, but he will still take it away from Mercedes. That will be 43 points and 15 to Taylor Clan. That will not be enough, 28 points.
Yeah, he will be able to run a lap, as the Mercedes aren't going to catch him and pass him, but it's going to be off or not.
Here we go. On the final lap of the Grand Prix, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, Cookie lifts a bit. Here stays in front, down into the Tamburello chicane. So it's going to be 2 Mercedes.
You're playing with fire here, guys.
They are getting close, but they are only 12 corners away. Toneless Death and Meanfern, they swap around.
Looks like Alphanese will be on the podium.
Yeah, as it stands, too. That's also another thing to talk about. Taylor Clan now has 6 seconds of time penalties. Alphanese with none. This will be another podium for the AlphaTauri, but it also will take Taylor's podium away. But now into the Varianti Alta in a couple seconds' time. It's been a season that has been absolutely dramatic in all fashions. We've seen a Mercedes team that was dysfunctional, that we thought would honestly have 4th in the Constructors' Championship, much less being the Constructors' Champion. Well, going down in the Ravazza for the final time, they had to do everything right to win this Constructors' Championship for the last 3 weeks. Well, they've done everything right today. A side-by-side finish at the line. Deer Hunter wins the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, and Mercedes are Constructors' Champions of the Realistic Performance season. What a comeback they've had from a dysfunctional beginning and possibly being 4th to being Constructors' Champions of Season 3 of the Realistic Performance Championship. Alphanistas, they'll come home with another podium in the AlphaTauri and a great finish for the home team at their track that they theoretically could have had great results at, and they have had a great result. McLaren, Taylor Clan did everything he had to do. He got that 4th position. He just didn't get the help he needed from unsighted port. He'll come home in the 14th position. Sanchez with 5th. Toneless Death in the Red Bull will grab 6th. Supply Raptor gets ahead of Mean Fern. He'll get 8th. with Chandler and the points in ninth. He'll actually put Williams ahead of Alfa Romeo. They'll get through and win that championship battle between the Alfa Romeo team and the Williams team. Hoopalicious comes home in the 10th position. Drix has no front wing. What could have been for the Ferrari on the front row to not get points?
Let's see if inside of Portnab's fastest lap, and he doesn't.
Wow. Great end of the season that was for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, and Alphanesis, undoubtedly driver of the day, which I honestly could have argued it should go to Deer Hunter, who started 17th. He came home victorious and will hold that Constructors' Championship trophy alongside his teammate Cookie. And once again, an amazing comeback for the Mercedes team. It's a 1-2 for Mercedes.
Up, and then we'll get the party invites. I would love to know what the gap was after the summer break.
That would have been cool, dude, because they have had an incredible turnaround ever since the summer break. But ever since then, it's been lights out. This team has been consistent, and they've been pretty quick as well, with occasional 1-2s. Not many teams have achieved that feat this season. Mercedes now take home the Constructors' Championship. Deer Hunter wins the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix with Cookie grabbing P2, and they had a formation to the line.
Go, bro.
Alphanesis in third, Taylor Clem fourth, Sanchez fifth, Thomas Death sixth,
Mike.
with Supply Raptor, Meanford, Chandler, and Hoopalicious rounding out your top 10. Drix, Ron Swanson, and Sideport, Minico, your top 14. And, wow, what could have been for the Ferrari on the front row did not get the points he really wanted. Phantom 15th, Antonio has 16th, Mitchie, we've lost him, Luciano, KP21, and Mumu from the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And that will conclude not only the season, but the Constructors' Championship.
We won that? We won that?
Yep.
We won that, bro? Oh my god. We won that!
Mercedes are the Season 3 Realistic Performance Championship Constructors Champions.
I'll send another invite to Alphanese.
I don't have the little box to tick, by the way, in the party for some
Because
reason.
We're on PC,
Okay.
so that's why I was saying with Hot Mike. And Alphanese is here. So we'll start with Alphanese, another podium. Trying to think, where did you start? You started, actually, you and Deer started in the back. What happened with you in Q1, Alphanese? You there? Okay, we can't get a hold of Alphanese. I did see him join. Yeah, I did. While we wait for Alphanese, we'll just go to Boss Cookie. Started on pole, had a spirited battle a little bit with the Ferrari. Were you surprised that the Ferrari was able to keep attached with you in the first opening laps?
Yeah, no, I was saying the party. The Ferrari was really quick. The mediums took a while to get fast, I guess. I don't know. I just wasn't good on them all race, the mediums. But he spun out pretty early, and from then on, I was just kind of managing until I pit on the softs, and Deer had much better wear than me, so I think he had like the extra tenth or two, just due to the wear. I think we were actually really equal on pace, though. But all in all, I'm amazed that I got through that race without spinning once. Like, I cannot tell you, I was doing maybe like 2 TT laps before spinning in a row. So I'm just glad we got through that, and I'm glad we worked together to secure constructors somehow. That was, I cannot believe we came back from that far back to win, but yeah, that was a perfect race. Like,
well,
no other words for it.
You did allude to it, the comeback. I mean, I forgot what the point gap was after summer break, but there was a point to where it looked like Mercedes wasn't going to be in the championship fight, and then the second half of the year, or this season, y'all just went on this absolute tear of being consistent. Just talk about that second half of the season run of you, and also with your teammate Deer Hunter getting the Constructors Championship.
Wait, sorry, repeat the last part?
Just the charge that you and your teammate Deer Hunter did to get the Constructors Championship going against McLaren and Red Bull.
Yeah, no, I mean, when I joined mid-season, we were like 100 points back. So I think after like Silverstone, I think we started to take it, somewhat seriously. I don't think Merc were really taking it too seriously. I mean, I can't speak for them, but first 10 races, but nah, I think we started to take it seriously. We started to work together a little bit. You saw in Coda, the switching around cars, but yeah, no, I'm honestly surprised we got it today. Like, I thought it would have been a chaotic race, but that was probably one of the more tame ones. Yeah, I can't believe how far we came back from. I think we were almost 150 points back in the mid-season. And
it was something like that.
And to beat Red Bull and McLaren, who's done a crazy good job all season, is incredible. I mean, I think Deere did a really good job stepping it up. And later stages of the race, and I think we kind of just took it to him. I guess I don't know. I mean, I think McLaren's still the team of the season, if I'm being honest. But I'm glad we won. That was a very satisfying race to end off of. And Deere were kind of battling it out there.
Yeah, those last couple of laps, I mean, we were watching it being catcher, y'all were in the position y'all needed to be in, and like, hey, don't throw this away. That would have been unfortunate to see.
I was telling Deere, shut up, the entire race, because he was like, bro, I'm pushing, I'm gonna catch you. I'm like, bro, shut up. Jesus Christ, it's Imola. But yeah, that was good. I think from season 2, Red Bull kind of dominated the entire season. If you guys were watching it then,
yeah.
I think for us to come back and win, especially with how far back we were at the start, really, really good. Really impressed with the form of Mercedes the past half season.
Well, y'all two did a tremendous job. We'll switch to Alpha Nice if you're there.
Yep, can you hear me?
A little bit. Can you boost your audio up a little bit?
It's gonna give us. Oh,
that works.
Okay.
Well, you had an issue in Q1 that made you start in the back, but you drove all the way forward and you got to P3. Talk about your just your drive overall.
Yeah, qualifying went horrendously bad. Yeah, I was about to set a lap, but my front tires locked up and I had to go through gravel and extend track limits, which meant I had another lap. Anyway, starting from the back, it couldn't have gotten any worse, and yeah, there was a crashing outcome in the rally. I think I had front wing damage, then I didn't put the right sets, I put the hards, and I had to pit again for the mediums. And there, just the pace started to catch on, and I started to make some overtakes, and to my surprise, I ended up P3.
Well, one thing that helps your cause is you're one of, I believe, only 3 drivers that didn't get a penalty. That always helps at the end. Taking advantage of your rivals making mistakes. This is what, your 4th or 5th podium of the year. Just talk about your just the second half of this season overall with you and AlphaTauri, and I believe, weren't you with Alpine a little bit?
Yeah, it's a reserve.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good debut. Obviously, could have been better because of the strategy and the weather. But yeah, moving on with AlphaTauri, it's been quite a ride, to be honest. And we have some highs and lows. We've worked through hard with the setups and the strategy, which really paid off with the podiums. We had a Red Bull driver, Minico, winning the Drivers' Championship. Unfortunately, Mercedes snatched it away, the Team Championship on the final race. Congratulations to them anyways. They did a good job. And yeah, I don't know what's to come in the future, especially with the contracts. I don't know if I want to stay with a team or if I want to go for the championship winning car.
Well, it must be said, with the work that you've done in the midfield with the AlphaTauri, with you getting the majority of podiums in your races, I'm pretty sure you're going to get a handful of offers, maybe really good offers for you next season. Congratulations on getting P3. And Catrup, well,
Thank you.
That's interview, dear.
Well then, we have Cam as well, the team manager, but we'll come to him in a few seconds' time. But first, let's go to his driver who won the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Dear, welcome again. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's how you do it, dude. Everything I've got goes to this main man, Cameron Emerson, best manager. I don't care what you say. The dude is a freaking legend. Dude, he can motivate the crap out of you. He can motivate a horse to go down and get that bean field all stocked up. I'll tell you that right now. He could do it all, man. Main shout out to my main man, Cookie, doing a good job there. I hate this track, man. It's probably one of my top 3 worst tracks. Shout out to Cam and Chandler, man. They gave me a setup. I had to tweak it a little bit, but oh my gosh, that's probably one of my best drives on the
Oh,
F1
real
game.
quick, shout out to Chandler too, because I was also using his setup.
Yes.
God bless.
Chandler
God bless, bro.
With the setup. And oh my gosh, it was just on rails, man. I could just send it. Sector 1, Sector 3 as well. It was just so fast. And dude, I knew as soon as I got up to around 10th, 11th after that first lap, I knew we had something. And I honestly, I was quicker than Cookie, and he played a good little teammate thing there. And
Nice.
Dear,
Okay.
my controller just disconnected, so I don't know if he'll ask something.
No, we were just trying to make sure you're okay.
Yeah,
But yeah.
First we thought I was looking like did my Wi-Fi drop, and I was like, no, I still hear Kuaz, Cookie, and Kendra.
I was kind of concerned for a bit.
Yeah, it took me over.
But man, it was a very tame race. But like I said, I just kept chipping away, 10th there, and then when Cookie's tires really started going off, I started getting 4 or 5 tenths a lap, and I was like, okay, we're here to play now. But man, I won the last 2 races. How about that? I think I'm within like 10 points of Miniko now. So if Phantom hadn't wrecked me at Baku, and if I wouldn't have gotten screwed over by the rain at Japan, and maybe didn't get killed by some AlphaTauris and some McLarens at Jeddah, man, this could be my championship. So I don't know if I'm coming back next year. I might be retiring. I might be managing. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, awesome. It was really good to get this constructors, man. Like I said, all for Cam, Cookie, Supply Raptor, been a great fill-in. Chandler and the Williams, they got a P8. A Williams P8. How about that? KP, he made it into Q2 tonight. The automatic gears for the win. Let's go, baby. Oh, man. It's like I said, it was a really rough season for the first half. And then we finally started getting our stuff together. And we were really good, really good. Cookie was a great addition to the team, man. Even though we wanted to battle each other and wring each other's necks at times. Great teamwork, so. Man, that was a good one. That was a fun one. Wait to see if I come back next year or not. Who knows? Be like a magician.
Well, regardless, definitely had a huge turnaround for that Mercedes team the end of the season to, well, the midpoint or even the beginning of the season. We did not expect this to be the occurrence. Well, congratulations once again on yourself and to your teammate Cookie on both your podiums and the Constructors' Championship.
Thank you.
Well, now,
Thank you. Wait, interview Cam.
Yeah, we have Cam. Oh, give me a second. I'm doing my job. Shut up. Hush. Thank you. Cam. Get your mans. Anyways, Cam, not only did you win the Constructors' Championship, but dear hinted on it, Williams passed Alfa Romeo to get P8. That's a double whammy and a double success at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. But first off, you got that ring.
Yeah, my second championship, I think, realistic. Got Drivers' Championship Season 1. The season was not looking well. Wasn't looking good. Let's see. We were like 5th in constructors. Your Hunter sucked. Zach the Beast sucked. Zach the Beast left. Got John. John was actually good. I feel bad I had to drop him. But Cookie begged me for a seat all season. I finally gave him it. He proved his worth.
Bro.
And then Deer Hunter finally started trying. We're a very blessed team. I want to thank Zach the Beast for being a bottle job. God bless him. McLaren, Taylor tried his best, but Port kind of stole. I don't know what he was doing right there. I don't know. Shout out Chandler for being Chandler. You know what I'm saying? Hoop was low key Mercedes, but he didn't tell anybody, so it's fine. Good season.
Very good for a good season as well, because, I mean, we had, predictions. We had, Williams to go maybe P9 at maximum, maybe having a fight with Haas as it goes through, but getting 8th ahead of Alfa Romeo in the last race of the season was great as well. But not only that, but, your other team had a pretty good success with Mercedes winning the Constructors' Championship. But regardless, through everything that happened, through the dysfunctionality that was the beginning half of the season, and then the incredible turnaround, after all of that, you now have Constructors Champions to your name for Season 3 of the Breakout Racing League Realistic Performance Championships. And congratulations to you and your 4 drivers, technically, with Williams.
What the fuck?
My bad.
I thought that was Cam, bro.
No, that was my bad. I am so sorry. I clicked on the Instagram. I clicked on Instagram and my phone refreshed, and it was a thing from NFL memes making fun of Aaron Rodgers when he saw Devontae Adams traded. And when I realized the volume was on, I was like, "Oh no!" I am so sorry for that.
Oh, that's great.
Say goodbye.
I am so sorry for that, Skeppy. Don't blame me, blame Sprint.
Once again, congratulations to Cam, to Deere, to Cookie, to Chandler, to KP21, to Blind Raptor was in that car as well in the Williams, and even actually in the Mercedes, most notably Baku, where he could have had that win, but he, listened to Cam's instructions of, and I quote,
That was my fault.
Yeah, okay, I don't know about that one, Sir Chief. But
Supply
regardless,
is goated.
very true. But regardless, at the end of it, that concludes it for us, myself, Heycatcher, and Bois, and the entirety of the Realistic Performance season, because this is round 24, the final round, and we couldn't have wrapped up the season in any better fashion. So for myself, Heycatcher, and Bois, we thank you for tuning into this extreme, but it all begins now. The final round for every equal tier. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Tier 3, because that is a very important tier you do want to tune into, not because it's their last round, because it very much, that's appealing in itself. You should go do that. But they also have not one, but 2 championships on the line still. Gary versus Ron, Ferrari versus Mercedes and the drivers. But for the constructors, it's all to play for. Alfa Romeo could become a quadruple world champion. In Tier 1, they've done it. In Tier 2, they've done it. In Tier 4, they've done it. They could do it very well again in Tier 3. So that's going to be something you need to tune into at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And while you're at it, tune in 2 hours later at 10 p.m. that very same day tomorrow for Tier 4 as they take on their final round, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And then on Saturday, we have the final rounds for Tiers 2 and 1. At 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you have Tier 2. And 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you have Tier 1. But from the equal performance side, from the realistic performance side, and now from the Formula 2, everything is about to be wrapped up this week. ACC still not back yet, but there is, for the first time in a long time, not a race next week. And that's going to be something we're all going to get used to, because Season 8 is around the corner. So for myself, Heycatcher, from Bois, from Cam, from Cookie, from Deere.
Hey, watch Tier 1.
Definitely watch Tier 1. Definitely do that.
Yeah.
Mitchie's going to have something in store for you guys.
I might take out somebody
Don't do that.
if it rains.
From Alphanesis, from the Breakout Racing League Realistic Purpose Championship, and the Breakout Racing League as a whole, we say thank you for watching, and a very good night.
We